Yo, you beautiful person, you just keep on popping up on my timeline. Welcome back to another Speak Up Saturdays, episode 9. I'm feeling so divine. However, I want to get into the delusional right now, which is kind of going to piggyback off of episode 8, no way. But yeah, it is what it is because it's a journey, isn't it? Something about people makes them feel like they can control your narrative because they're so busy living in your past, and that's another reason why you don't need to do that. There's somebody out here doing that for you. You have the power to control your narrative, your timeline, and people only gonna have the power that you give them, okay? If it's unworthy of my time, then I don't care. I push it to the back of my mind. I'm not gonna hold you. Do the trauma responses. Once it goes there, it's gone. Unless it truly affected me, it's gone. At the end of the day, many people will find themselves stuck on you, just like I do in any other episode. I speak on a topic and I'm going to speak from personal experiences. Find that to be narcissistic if you may, but if I'm going to speak on anything or if I'm going to speak on my opinions on others, then I'm going to talk about myself. And this is why I find the need to have this conversation, because I realize how many people, me being so observant all of my life, I may not have always been as aware as I should have been or use my discernment all the time when I needed to, but it was always there. And when I use it, baby, watch out. Watch out. A lot of people don't like to confront their truths. That's the main reason why you would find me to be alone very often. I could be in a room full of people, many people I know of, I've crossed paths with, tongue thrust. I get it from my paternal side. I very much always have been that person. I am more so of the wild card in my immediate family. I'm not gonna lie, like many of us are wild cards, but like my mom, she's very much considerate of her presentation, and I respect that very much. However, a lot of times, sorry if you find offense to this, mom, but I found that to be judgmental in a lot of different situations, and I am more of someone who likes to be aware of what it is that I'm encountering or who I'm encountering. And again, I did have a lack of boundaries, but that also helped me in my journey to learn people better. It really helped me to analyze the different energies that are in this world and that I had crossed paths with. And I'm very grateful for that as well. A lot of people, though, moving forward, hold this narrative of you or energy that they receive from whatever segment or experience that y'all have shared. It is only a segment. It's only that experience, you know? Like, just like I said in episode 8, do you really know this person? 9 times out of 10, the people that are talking about you, I'm going to speak from experience. And 9 times out of 10, the people that speak on me or share conversations about who I am to them or whatever the case may be, it's usually coming from someone else or something that they wanted to like bond themselves to each other about me or through me. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. If you ask me, it's delusional. Most of the time, those people are not willing to confront their own truths and speak on what needs to be said about them. They're not willing to speak on exactly why they're not a part of my life or my experience, or why I felt the need to just refrain from everything in my healing process and my isolation process. Because if they really wanted to judge something, this was really the time to do it, because I ain't gonna hold you, I couldn't control the changes that I had started to go through. But one thing about me, I'm always gonna show up for myself. I don't really care about what's going on in the backgrounds. I don't really care about what's going on in close proximity or in the vicinity. I'm gonna show up for myself, and I'm grateful for having that kind of resilience and that strength and that mindset. Like, when I tell you, I'm not here to live up to nobody's expectations or standards but my own. You know, people only really know what I've shown them, what they see, or what they've heard from other people. But those people don't confront me about me. And this is why I'm so glad that I had this random thought to walk everybody down my timeline and my journey with the re-release of Hello, so I could better explain to you where the wolf before the music came from. Because why not? I don't care about your opinion. I don't care. Now, I know that a lot of people are like, hey, you know, this time in our lives is very shameless. I've always been quite Gallagher-esque. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've always been quite shameless when it comes to me because it's my life. Again, you control your narrative. When you learn that, you have that power, and you remove the power that you've given to other people to exist in your timeline and that energy to exist and control your mind. Baby, when you have so many things to experience in this world, and you actually do, because even being to myself, I'm going to have some wild experiences. It just is what it is. That's my life. It's what God gave to me, baby. It's really hard for people to exist in your timeline when you just keep on pushing. You keep on trucking. You keep on sailing that ship. You don't really see what's back out at shore when you keep on going out into that deep water, baby. You just don't see it. I'm a water sign. I'm a water element. And yes, like, water has been my biggest friend lately. It's been helping me cleanse internally, externally, and spiritually. Okay? And I just don't care. I don't care about nothing nobody has to say about me. So I never really have. I don't know. Like, unless you actually hold some kind of value in my life, like, I don't really care about your opinion. I can consider it, but a lot of times that I've actually considered people's advice and I acted on it, it actually put me in bad positions too. So at this point, it's like, given the journey that y'all all about to learn, I could have did that by myself. I could do bad by myself. Like, I could do good by myself with the help of God, of course. All glory goes to God. I mean, like, let's be real, so, and I'm sure that shows too. Like, oh, how did she get here? How did she do that? By showing up for myself, by doing things that I actually love to do, that actually made me happy, that actually helped me work on me, okay? The people that I crossed paths with and I aligned with and we did whatever we did, I take that for what it is. I appreciate it. And if you weren't meant to stay around, then that's why you're not around. I've always been analytical. I've always been observant. I've always been someone who has had spiritual protection as well. So watch who you play with. Okay? One thing about God, one thing about my loved ones, my ancestors, they don't play about me, and I know that and I see that. No matter what it is that I'm going through that you thought was going to be my downfall, you had to have been delusional. Like I said, the same great aspects that you've seen in me, that you have witnessed about me, you should have known that any bad phase was just that. It was a phase. As it will be, because who's to say I'm not going to go through some more? Just like you. You have to realize that people only have the power that you give them. You have to be mindful of that and let them be delusional on their own. You got things to do. You have things to confront. Most times, they're not going to do that. Okay? So, all they will have is to talk about you. And that makes you the biggest. Because at the end of the day, they're not bigger than the program, baby. I'm bigger. Okay? I'm bigger cook. I'm cookie. This is the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, so if you're going to tell any stories about me, please get it right. I don't care how disgusting, how great. Thank you if you do. I don't care how absurd, how wild you think it is. It's my journey. And I don't ever mind confronting that. I don't ever mind sharing that. You need to work on sharing the part about you that got you where you at in my life. Or not even in my life. Just worry about what you need to confront about yourself. For real. As much as you run around and talk about other people, you need to be worried about what you need to be talking about when it comes to you. Okay? Yeah, that thing that you... Yeah. Work on that. Talk about that. Go talk about that. Go sit down and have a conversation about that. Go take that. Yeah, that conversation you was about to have about somebody else. No, bring that situation about you up. And see what results you get from that. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about me, sweetheart. Don't worry about me unless you're worried about me. And if you're worried about me, then worry about me, but don't worry about me. All right? Have a great one.